Welcome back everyone, Crowon here, and we're going to go ahead and tackle UCE Walking Npc. So let's go ahead and get that imported in. So the gist of this one is Walking Npc will allow your NPC to walk around randomly or through waypoints. That's instead of just being stationary. So let's go ahead and get the README opened up. So show on Explorer and double click and open that. Alright, so we have one core change that it wants us to do, and it's off this error, so let's double click, and here it is. Well, let's go ahead and comment that bad boy out and save, or you can delete the line, up to you. Go ahead and let it recompile. Fantastic. Alright, I'm going to collapse that, collapse this, save, and now we're going to go and just check our alchemist over quick. Scroll down until you see the UCE Walking Npc. This is the same concept and setup as the monsters have. So now you have a movement probability, you have a distance, you got your waypoints, which are just objects in your scene that it's going to run between. The random ratio here, which, as you can see, it's completely optional, is 0. It's only going to follow the waypoint. So 1, it's going to be random only, and 2, it's going to do both. So the point here, if you go 1, it's only random. If you go in between, it's a mixture. So the point is, if I put up, let's say, 6 waypoints, and I have this at 50%, it will decide 50% of the time if it's going to either go to the next waypoint, or if it's going to run around in the area randomly for a little bit, and then move on to the next waypoint. So it gives a little bit more life to your NPC or to monsters and stuff like that. So that's really the gist. We're going to put ours down to 0. We want it to only follow waypoints in this case. And then here is the player detection. This is optional. If it's at 0, it'll be disabled. But the idea is, if a player is next to an NPC, he'll stop. And he'll just stand there until the player leaves. So this allows you to, if you have a merchant and they're following a path down a road, and it's a traveling merchant, the player walks up to him to buy something, he doesn't continue on his merry way, ignoring the player's existence. He actually will stop and wait for the player to finish and conduct his business and then leave. So that's the point there. And now, NPCs natively don't have anything set up in their animator to work with because they're meant to be stationary. So we're going to want to go ahead and set the animator up. So over here you'll see the animator. If you have it open from previous videos. If not, you'll need to open it through Windows and pull it down, Animation, Animator. And he has only an idle, and it's coming from entry. He does nothing else. So we're going to want to add a movement, and to do that, we're going to go ahead and jack the players one. So in prefabs, entities, players, just click on the warrior here, and it'll pop up his animator. And now in here, we want to go ahead and just grab the run, Control C to copy it out. Click on your alchemist and Control V to paste it. And there you go. Now from any state is where we're going to come from with a make a transition to run. And now we're going to have to make a transition to idle as well. Now you're going to add 2 booleans in here. Like so. We're going to call this bottom one moving and this top one idle. Because it didn't use them before because it never needed to. Now in this idle transition, we're just going to set idle in there. And then for the running, we're going to do moving. And we can go ahead and save that and collapse these up. Come back to our scene. We'll hit play. And server and play. Pick our player. We'll move away from the NPC so he actually moves. And give him a moment to decide he wants to go somewhere. And he stops, goes back to idle, moves around. And I'm going to come up and I'm going to stand in his way. He's going to stop and he's going to stay here. Well, hello, adventurer. Have a chit chat with me the whole time instead of leaving. Right? Now I'll leave and he'll go on his merry way to conduct his business. So that is it for Walking Npc. So I will catch you in the next one. Welcome back, everyone. Crowon here again, and we're going to tackle UCE Simple NPC audio today. So let's go ahead and get that import into our project. Import. Now keep in mind, I did include an audio clip in this. It is literally just recording of myself. It's nothing fantastic, nothing great. You are allowed to use it though if you would like in your project. I have absolutely no problem with that. So let's go ahead and open up that README. Alright, and in here we only have two minor core changes. So let's go ahead and get into scripts, UI, and it's going to be in UI dialog, NPC dialog, which is right there. Open that up, and let's go ahead and find where we need to go, which one is going to be here and one is right here. The first one is the bottom part. So copy out that blue text and paste it in, and then go to the next step and copy that blue text, and it's going to go right there. Paste it in, save that. You can go and minimize that out of the way, let it compile again. Alright, so I'm going to collapse all this to get it out of my way. I have an audio clip in here that I created. We can go ahead and just quickly play that and make sure we can hear it. So I gotta... Well, hello, adventurer. Alright, so that came through fine. So let's go ahead and go to our alchemist, and on him, we're gonna bring that back down, and we're gonna have to find our news section, which I believe is near the top, isn't it? Which no, here it is. That's, for some reason it's on our text message. Mesh is, I can't talk today. Under interact audio, I'll go ahead and I'll add a header above this to make this stand out better, and it'll just be NPC audio. And in here we have that interact. So let's move hello adventure to interact audio. We want it to say it when we talk to our NPC. And then the other thing I noticed with what's set up standard here in uMMORPG is this is going to be really quiet when you start. And so we're going to scroll down, we're going to go to audio source. And the reason for this, the volume's at half, which not always a bad thing, doesn't blow your ears out. But other thing is we have spatial blend on 3D. Now this is a great feature in Unity by far. It lets you use these 3D settings, which essentially what that does is wherever your audio listener is, which is usually your camera, it will play the song and have the sound effect and have a drop off based on distance. And you can manually set distance and use different algorithms and so on in here, which is fantastic. So you can kind of get a gauge of how far away was a gunshot in a game, or footsteps and so on. Fantastic on that end. But for what we're doing with this perspective, we're top down and we're looking at the scene. So if we use this setup, everything's super quiet because our camera's nowhere near the audio that's being played. So I changed this down to 0, and then I put the volume back up to 1. And there you go. Now these volumes will be controlled. If you happen to use like our settings add-on, it will actually have volume control in there, which you can have all this messed with in that point. Alright, so we got that set up now on our alchemist. So let's go ahead and hit play. We're going to go ahead, pick our player, and we'll go up to our alchemist and it's, well, hello, adventurer. There you go. So I interact with him. He immediately talks to me and says hello. Well, hello, adventurer. Fantastic. So I can easily have any type of introduction you want on interaction here with any NPC. Like this will be on every NPC there is, so you can have whatever introductions you want. And then the quest one is pretty simple. When you come in and well, hello, adventurer, you go to quests, it's going to play it when you go into here. So if you want to ask for help on something or anything like that, that's a perfect place to drop that. And that is it for simple NPC audio. I'll catch you in the next one.